We are talking some Detroit Lions news here today, and we're going to get into three main topics for this video. Jerry Jacobs, he speaks, and he has a lot of confidence for the Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me my thoughts on that. Antoine Green, is this guy a player who could be a starter and take some reps away from the veteran receivers and Jared Goff compared to the rest of the NFC North quarterbacks? We're going to give you where they have the Lions quarterback ranked through Fan Nation. Let's go ahead and begin. If you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, you might as well subscribe to this channel because that's all I do. Training camp starting here in a couple weeks, and it's nonstop action off-season and off-season, and guess what? The season's about to begin, so it's about to get really crazy. Folks, who do you got winning week one? Do you got the Detroit Lions winning, or do you got them losing? Put W for win or L for lose. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Jerry Jacobs believes that the Detroit Lions have a legit shot to win. He came out and said it's time to show what Detroit is made of. When we knew we were playing them in the season over, Kansas City, Dan Campbell came out and said they want us to lose, so what are we going to do? We almost went to the playoffs and they just won a Super Bowl. So they're trying to see if we're really like that. We're ready. I know we are ready. And when you look at the Detroit Lions week one, it's going to be a difficult one. Detroit Lions, like he said, are a team that nearly made the playoffs, and Kansas City Chiefs are a team that won the Super Bowl. The Lions, though, they won 8 of the last 10 games. Really improved defensively, offense on fire. Kansas City Chiefs, obviously one of the best offense, if not the best offense in the NFL. Defense is pretty good. They got Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. So do they legit got a shot? Is Jerry Jacobs doing something right by saying we're going to surprise everyone? I think he is correct. I think the Detroit Lions absolutely need to have that confidence, need to have the ability to show that they're not afraid. That's what good teams do. And in Detroit, we've been perennial losers for so long. I love his confidence. I love the DBs as a whole, smack talking and getting that swag going, because that's exactly what the Detroit Lions need right now. And I do think the Lions have a legit shot to win, and I actually having them win this game. So we're going to ask you again, do you got the Detroit Lions winning? W for win and L for lose. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I tell you what, there is a player on the Detroit Lions that we drafted in the 7th round that we don't talk a lot about, but some other people think that Antoine Green is something special here, because Heavy.com was talking about Antoine Green. He could be taking away time from veteran wide receivers for the Detroit Lions. It says, as Brown noted, 6'2" wide receiver turned in a strong performance at the NFL Scouting Combine with a 4.47 40 time and 3-cone drill of 6.99 seconds. Green has a reputation of stretching defenses during his game at the University of North Carolina and could do the same if Detroit given the opportunity. And they continue on here. He threatens defenses vertically and has shown that he can run after the catch. He works with his hands to fight off defenders and has desired a 6'2", 199 pounds. It's not every year that contributions are made from 7th round picks, but there's potential here for Green in Detroit. And if you look what he did last year at North Carolina, he played in 9 games, 43 receptions for 798 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was a good producer at North Carolina. He was a damn good player for that football team, and he's exactly what the Lions need. We're looking for somebody to replace DJ Chark, who left Detroit. And when it comes to Jameson Williams, he suspended the first 6 weeks, so Green could have a big opportunity on his hands to make plays for Detroit on the field. You know, initially when you look at a 7th round pick, you think maybe he does even make the roster. Is he going to contribute? But there absolutely is a chance for this guy to make a splash for the Lions. It'll be interesting to see how him versus Marvin Jones Jr., because I think Marvin Jones Jr. is the individual right now that should be replacing the targets that Chark got, and he's the betting favorite. Him, Jared Goff, has been on the same page, OTAs and minicamp, and I fully expect that to continue in the NFL season. But there will be big opportunity for Green to make an impact for the Lions, i.e. Jameson Williams out. Now, 7th-round rookies are not expected to make an impact. But if you look at the Detroit Lions, we're a team of coaches that puts players in with their ability, not where they're drafted. There's many examples of this. Malcolm Rodriguez, 6th-round pick, plenty of playing time last year. Even though he was a 6th-rounder, he was ahead of many of the veterans. Jerry Jacobs, 2 years before, undrafted rookie for the Lions, and he has been a very good piece for the Lions defense since being with this football team. So if you look at Dan Campbell and you look at the coaching staff, they could care less where you have been drafted, where the player has been drafted. They simply want the best 11 on offense and the best 11 on defense. So if Green comes into training camp and does very good and get a good rapport with whoever is throwing them the football, if it's Nate Sudfeld or if it's Hooker or if it's Goff, he'll get an opportunity for the Detroit Lions in 2023. I think he actually makes the team. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I think he makes the 53, but I'm just one person. So let me know in the comment section right now. Does Antoine Green make the roster? M for make or C for cut? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We're going to continue on here and talk about the NFC North quarterbacks because interesting article came out from, again, Fan Nation talking about the rankings of the quarterbacks of Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love, and Justin Fields. Where are they ranked? And I love going over this article because it definitely gives interesting reasons why. And we're going to get into that in a second. But have you hit that notification bell? Make sure you hit it right now if you haven't done so. Only about 16% of my subs have done that. So go ahead and hit the notification bell right now. When you look at Jared Goff, guess what, folks? He is number 1 on their list. Jared Goff, they have, is the best quarterback in the NFC North. First off, they have Jordan Love as the worst at number 4, as he hasn't really done anything so far in his NFL career. He's had some snaps and taken over for Aaron Rodgers, but he has nothing really to show for it. Number 3, Justin Fields, the mobile dual-threat quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He's great with his legs, but he hasn't really shown anything in the pass game. It will be really intriguing to see what he does this year as he's got a better offensive line and more weapons, but I concur he should be number 3, and Jordan Love should be number 4. Number 2, they got Kirk Cousins from the Minnesota Vikings. In all honesty, Kirk Cousins puts up a ton of stats, and he has took his team to the playoffs this past season, but let's be honest with Cousins. Folks, he hasn't won the big game you want him to make. He does phenomenal in the regular season, but when it comes to Monday Night Football games and playoff games, he just can't get it done. He's shown it throughout his tenure as an NFL quarterback. I love Kirk Cousins because he's a local hero here in Holland, Michigan, but I got to remove my bias away and say he should be number 2 for that reason. And I do believe Jared Goff should be 1. He has been to a Super Bowl. He has won games in big games. He's done it for the Rams, and he's done it for the Lions. He has shown he can win the big games. He did it against Patrick Mahomes in 2018, outdueled him. He went all the way to a Super Bowl, so he's won playoff games, even with a bad finger after having surgery a week before. And in Detroit, he's won the big games versus the Green Bay Packers the final week of the year, with Green Bay trying to make the playoffs and the Lions just trying to be a winning football team. So in me, I concur. I do believe Jared Goff should be number 1. but that is just me. So let me know in the comment section right now. Should Jared Goff be number 1? Why for yes and N for no? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We look at all of this. I think it's really going to be an interesting season this year for all 4 quarterbacks in the NFC North. Jordan Love has an opportunity to, maybe become a really good quarterback this year. We just don't know because he hasn't done a lot of snaps. I think at the end of this year, he will probably still be the 4th best quarterback, and I think Justin Fields could take a jump to number 2 when you look at him getting more offensive weapons and a better offensive line. I do think he has a chance to jump, and for whatever reason, I got Kirk Cousins kind of falling into that number 3 spot. I got a feeling that he's going to regress a little bit, and then Jared Goff continues to be who he is. So I do believe that's the rankings it should be before what they have, as Love 4, Justin Fields 3, Cousins 2, Goff 1. But at the end of the year, I probably got Love 4, Cousins 3, Fields 2, and Jared Goff 1. I think there's a higher ceiling for Justin Fields, and compared to Kirk Cousins, who's the older veteran, who, in all honesty, this could be, he could be his last year in the Minnesota Vikings uniform. It really could be. So we'll find out for sure going forward, but that's just the way that I see it. Make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button. All of those things that you do does help the channel out, and we grow the channel, and we continue to put out Detroit Lions content. With that said, folks, adios.
Perfect.